Lisa, Miriam, Amanda, thank you so much for coming in. So thrilled to have you guys here. TIFF, Degrassi, whatever it takes. It's premiering so soon. After everything that you guys have gone through putting this together, how does it feel to finally be here now?
Feels pretty amazing.
Surreal.
Yeah.
Very surreal.
Surreal. I think,
but awesome.
I mean, Degrassi being a Toronto story, reflecting the experience of Toronto teens, there's not a better premiere for the film. So it feels surreal to have it play at TIFF, especially the 50th anniversary of the festival.
And Lisa, why Degrassi? Why did you do this whole thing?
Yeah. I was brought on to direct it by our EP Carrie Mudd and our producer Aaron Sharp, but I had previously made a film about Sue Johansson called Sex with Sue, our amazing Canadian sex grandma, lovingly called Sex Grandma, and she was Dr. Sally on Degrassi. So it was like a pretty incredible through line between the two films.
Well, Degrassi is obviously so iconic. I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he said that he feels like he remembers more of Degrassi than he does his own childhood. I feel like he incorporates storylines, and I'm like, no, that was Joey Jeremiah. That wasn't you. But when you guys were looking at the scripts, was there ever a moment when you're going through it and thinking like, I can't do that?
Almost every episode. Yeah. Yeah. There were definitely moments. I mean, I was mortified when I got the
You can say it.
The blowjobs for bracelets episode. And that was a real double whammy that year because I was also in a film that we were just chatting about called She's Too Young, where unfortunately my character got an STD. Of course, I'm this innocent little girl. I'd never done anything in my whole life. And here I was depicting these things on screen. So that was definitely very mortifying for me.
Amanda, what about you?
No. Quick answer. Like any storyline I got, I never had one like potentially you have where I was, no. I was always very excited. You know, when we first started the show, I didn't have a character, right? So having a few lines and being in a storyline, I'm like, I'll do anything. I just want to have lines.
Well, and this response for you for having a baby on the show was so huge. So how did that feel at the time?
At the time when we were filming it, I had no idea what the response was going to be, right? It's just, I've said before, I was an ignorant young 14, 15-year-old with very little world experience and people's reactions to storylines. So I walked into it kind of eyes closed, but very excited about the role. And it wasn't until getting such tremendous positive feedback, primarily, right? There was some negative, where that's after it aired and after hearing about how well it was received, did it actually sink in that I was part of a storyline that was quite monumental.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it helped people as well. And bracelets for blowjobs, I'm sure helped people too.
Well, I sure hope so, guys. Yeah. I mean, we're out here doing the Lord's work. Can I say that?
And Lisa, what was the most shocking part in the whole research process for you? What did you learn?
I mean, I think... So I was a fan of the show growing up. I watched it like a lot of us. And so I knew the impact that the show had had on fans. And I think I was surprised that what made it impactful for us was that they were the same age as the characters. And that the other side of that was that it was challenging for a lot of the cast members. So a lot of the stories that are shared in the documentary, I had never heard before. And that's kind of like the personal stories and what it was like, people's experiences behind the scenes. So that was all just something that I didn't know before going into it.
And Amanda, if we can rewind to the 80s for a second, back then, like, did you know what an impact this was about to have on your life?
None. Not at all. Like, being on the show for the first season, not even really understanding how huge the show was going to become. I just thought it was like this cool thing I was doing on the side as well as going to school. But really, we were filming in a school and with other kids our age type things. It was like going from one school to another school. No idea how huge the show would become. None at all. Totally clueless.
Well, and then fast forward, you and Miriam play mother and daughter. So what kind of a bond did that create for the two of you?
I think it was pretty automatic. And we just caught up for the first time 2 days ago after 15 years of not seeing each other, which was also so fun. Like we were just going back to memories and it's crazy. Like our memories aren't even about necessarily being on set. It's about Amanda's Great Dane. And it's about, she was like, oh, I remember your mom would come to set. And it had nothing to do with what was going on camera. Because so much of the like the real friendships were when the cameras weren't rolling. They were the hours and hours spent, in our dressing rooms or in hair and makeup when we were forming the real bonds outside of whatever we were portraying in a particular scene that day. So that was amazing.
I don't think I could say that any better.
I love that. And I feel like you did a great job capturing the genuine bond between the characters for sure. And just, the cast in real life, I should say. And Miriam, how do you remember how you felt the day that you found out you were going to be on Degrassi Next Generation?
Yeah. So I was in grade 8 and I was getting ready for my dance recital and I was getting ready for my grade 8 graduation. And I found out that I got this call and I'm pretty sure my instinct was, oh my goodness, am I going to miss my recital? When I was like, the CTV launch is coming, because that, as a kid, that was where my priorities were. I was just like, my world was a small bubble. My local dance studio was it. And so I had no idea of the scope. I really wasn't familiar with the show. I'd heard of it, but I think I'm almost happy that I didn't know its legacy, because I may have felt even more pressure, or I might have felt a certain expectation rather than just coming into it with this vulnerable authenticity that I really came into it with. So for me, as well as Amanda, it all came as a shock when it took off.
Well, really important follow-up question. Did you make it to your recital?
Oh, man, I missed a few of the shows.
Wow.
And my mom slaved over the costumes, but you know what? It is okay. It is okay.
And Lisa, was there anyone that you were hoping to talk to for the documentary that you guys didn't get to?
I don't think so. Of course, people said no. No matter what, when you make a documentary, some people will say yes, some will say no. I, growing up, loved the character of Lucy, so I would have loved to speak to Anais, who played Lucy in the classic era. But no, I think so many people are in the documentary that we're grateful for anyone that spoke to us, and just the way that they were open with us in the film as well.
Right. And obviously, Drake is in it. I have to bring up the Drake of it all. Mm-hmm. Did you guys know Drake would go on to be, the person he is now?
Absolutely not. I think when we heard he was doing music, we all kind of chuckled and we're like, oh, he's doing music. And then now he's really, really doing music. So we're all eating our words, that's for sure.
And I'm so excited for people to see the documentary. It's so good. Such a fan of Degrassi, I loved seeing the things that I didn't know. But I think the main thing, too, is that it's such a big part of Canadian culture, but it wasn't perfect. And, you showed that, and you showed that there was so much more to it behind the scenes that we didn't realize. And I feel like we got to have a better glimpse of you guys behind the scenes as well, and what it was like for you. So, of course, there is the lawsuit now from the co-creator of Degrassi. Can you speak to that or no?
No, I mean, what I can say is I wasn't there or part of it, and it's been resolved. So we are just excited that we're moving forward with our premiere and excited to share the film with everyone.
Absolutely. And is there anything else you haven't been asked about in interviews, or maybe there's a story that you wanted to share or someone you wanted to shout out? You have the floor now. Maybe you want to thank the fans, whatever you want to do. If there's something that hasn't come up, now's your chance.
Definitely the fans are the reason I feel like we've had even an ounce of success. It's the sole reason we've had success. They are dedicated, sincere, amazing individuals. So thank you to them. Mm-hmm.
I would love to shout out every single crew member that worked on this film, but I will not. But I will shout out the team, because making a film, making a show is a huge team effort. So yeah, there are a lot of people behind putting this together.
Amanda, is there anything you wanted to add as well?
I'm really excited to see the fan reaction from the documentary. I think they're going to love it. So I'm more excited. I don't want to answer a question or ask a question. I'm just almost waiting with bated breath to hear the reaction from folks seeing the documentary. I'm really excited about that.
Well, as a super fan, I can tell you they're going to love it. I've been screaming about it all day. Everyone here is like, okay, you need to drink fewer coffees, because I'm just like, you have to see it. It's so good. And last question, do you think there's a chance that there's going to be another Degrassi?
Did you think there was a chance when you finished your seasons of the show?
Right.
No. However, now, 4 iterations later? I don't know. I feel like I've dropped off the planet for the last 20 years. When it comes to Degrassi, it's almost like you never know.
Right?
You just never know.
It is one of the questions that we asked everyone in the documentary, that it hasn't made it in the documentary, but do you think there could be another iteration? And because Degrassi was able to capture that teen experience over 4 decades, everyone's answer was yes. So,
yes. So if it's not in the works, I'm going to start the petition. I'll send it around to you guys. You can all sign it too. Okay, great. Even though I don't think it'll take that, because I also think the fans are going to be begging for it now that they see the documentary. So thank you so much for coming in, you guys.
Thank you so much.